when it comes to the many policies that we're experiencing from the federal administration, California is often the focal point in this national debate. And that's because we have taken a very different approach. If you are eligible to vote, we should make it as easy as possible for you to participate.
We saw a lot of attacks coming from the president and others nationally at how long it takes to count votes here. That is both because of just the sheer size of California, 40 million people. Also, we do almost have universal mail-in voting. A lot of the security checks that are done to ensure that one person is voting once are done on the back end. We struggle to get people out to vote in California, even with all of our very sort of progressive laws aimed at increasing voter access. I expect us to have free and fair elections in November. I'm sure there will be individual problems because there always are. But I think the bigger problem is sort of the distrust in the system.
The president and others can sow doubt in elections in order to create a pretext to intervene if they don't like the results. The executive order in March of this year targeting vote-by-mail systems that California uses and trying to establish federal control over that. Speaker Mike Johnson just talking about the vote counting process in California and saying that it, quote, looks on its face to be fraudulent. We do have to be ready to answer with the truth, which is that in California, voters have every reason to feel confident that their votes will be counted safely and securely. The SAVE Act would require documentary proof of citizenship in order to register to vote. Non-citizen voting is already illegal, and it is also extremely rare. The bill would effectively end online voter registration, vote-by-mail registration, and voter registration drives, which together is how over 90% of Americans register to vote today. Many folks don't have passports or may not have access to their birth certificates, or they may have a birth certificate that shows a different name. Even though these are, blocked in Congress or getting blocked by the courts, it doesn't mean they're not achieving their goal of casting more doubt on our elections.
Taking time off work, arranging transportation, arranging childcare, that just adds these additional burdens that just make it really difficult to be able to participate.
Let's talk about Proposition 39, the voter ID proposition here in California.
We do have a voter ID requirement when you register to vote. This would say when you vote at the polls, you would have to choose an ID, your driver's license, social security number, or if you were voting by mail, you would have to put the last four digits of that ID. It would also require election officials to annually report how many voters verified their citizenship.
I don't have any doubt that it would create longer lines and delays at the polls. Like if you're having to add an additional ID check, that's going to slow down the process. It just ends up making it even harder for election administrators.
These are the people on the front lines who have become kind of the focus of a lot of the abuse and conspiracy theories and threats. And it's affected their ability to do their job. A lot of the things that folks are demanding be put in place ostensibly to make things more secure actually make it a lot harder for registrars to do their jobs and make the count slower.